So we'll start here. The opening that we know as nostrils, that's the external nares. And then the bony ridges here are the concha. And then in between are the meatus. I forget what they're called. Something concha meatus or something.
Okay.
This is the palate. It's the roof of the mouth and the floor of the nose. It's the palate. And then we have some tonsils. Up in here is the nasopharyngeal tonsils, or the adenoids. And then the eustachian tube runs back here. And at the top of that tube are the tubal tonsils. Right back here at the back of the tongue are the lingual tonsils. And then back to that in the pharynx are the palatal tonsils. Let's see, the pharynx is back here, like the entry of the throat. Right back here you have the uvula, which is the furthest part back from of the palate, and that's what separates, that's what tells where the food and air goes. And then, actually no, I messed that up. The uvula does not separate where the food and air goes. The uvula determines whether the air is going to the nose or to the throat or to the mouth. And then the pharynx is back here. So you have your nasopharynx lines up with the nose, oropharynx lines up with the mouth, and laryngopharynx is down here by the larynx. The larynx is right here. It's back to the thyroid cartilage. That's your voice box or your Adam's apple. And then down from the larynx, you have the trachea in the respiratory system. So the trachea branches off. So the trachea comes down here, branches off into the bronchi. So you have your primary bronchi right here. There should be 2. And then your secondary bronchi, there should be 3 in the right lung because of the 3 lobes of the lung. And then 2 in the left lung because of the 2 lobes of the left lung. And then from there, this is the primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, and then from there the branches become tertiary bronchi, and then you have your bronchioles, and then those end in the alveolar ducts and alveolar sacs, which is where the gas exchange happens. Back to the trachea, we have the esophagus, which runs, from your mouth, goes into your esophagus here. The esophagus ends in the stomach at the cardiac sphincter. And then from the cardiac sphincter, you have the parts of the stomach are the cardiac sphincter. The fundus is up here. The upper section is the fundus. Then the body and the pylorus. And then the last part of the stomach is the pyloric sphincter. From the pyloric sphincter, it ends into the duodenum, which is right here, the first part of the small intestine, the C-shaped part. And then after the duodenum, it goes into the jejunum, which is just basically all of this part of the small intestine. And then the last part of the small intestine is the ileum, and the ileum ends into the cecum of the large intestine at the ileocecal valve or ileocecal junction. Here's the valve in here. That's the ileocecal valve at the ileocecal junction. Back here you have the appendix, which is at the angle of the ileocecal junction. The appendix goes back, and then you start your large intestine. So the large intestine starts off with the ascending colon. The ascending colon goes up to the transverse colon, which is here. So then transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, and then that ends in the rectum, which goes to the anus.
What is that thing called on the transverse colon?
Okay, the 3 differences between the small intestines and the large intestines are, this right here is the tinea coli, and that keeps the structure of the large intestine. It's like a fibrous band that keeps the structure. So the tinea coli, these sacculations or hostrations, and then also you have their little fat globules that are on here randomly. Those are called appendices epiploicae. And then this sheath that holds the small intestine in is the mesentery, and for the large intestines, it's the mesocolon. Is that all of this right here? Yeah, the spleen. This is the spleen, the splenic artery, and that's the hilum of the spleen, where the tail of the pancreas goes in. This is the pancreatic duct, and this whole thing is the pancreas. You have the head, the body, and the tail ends in the hilum of the spleen. Let's see. Here, we'll go over the liver real quick. This is the liver. You have the right lobe of the liver, left lobe. You turn it here. This is the quadrate. Looks like a square. This is the caudate. And then right here we have the portal hepatic system. So this is the gallbladder, and it goes into the cystic duct right here. These two ducts up here, two small green ducts, are the right hepatic duct and the left hepatic duct, and they join right here to create the common hepatic duct. So the common hepatic duct and the cystic duct meet up right here to form the common bile duct. The common bile duct goes to the duodenum. And then right here you have, so this is the common bile duct or cystic duct. Then you have the hepatic artery and the portal vein. And then on this side is the inferior vena cava. You have your right kidney and your left kidney, suprarenal gland. I'm not sure what he's going to ask of the kidney.
That's fine.
But in the hilum of the kidney, from the hilum of the kidney, you have the renal artery, which goes into the kidney, and the renal vein, which comes out of the kidney. The renal vein ends in this is the inferior vena cava, and this is the descending abdominal aorta. So yeah, that's the renal artery, renal vein. And then this is the left common iliac vein and the right common iliac, and then it goes to the external iliac, and the internal iliac goes down into the pelvis. I think that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you.